Hi everyone, and welcome back to Effective Leadership Strategies in the Workplace. Today we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about something that we've not really touched on before, and that's self-care. Self-care is also an effective leadership strategies. So often we talk about how leaders can take care of their teams, how they can fill the buckets of their teams, how they can meet the needs of their teams, but rarely do we really hone in on how effective leaders take care of themselves. And that's an important strategy to be able to function effectively throughout the day so that you can provide the best of yourself for your team, which results in a productive organization. So today we're going to start with a couple tips. I read a great article in Forbes magazine about self-care for leaders, and I really wanted to take from that article and share those tips with you so that you can practice them in your day-to-day. Number one, set boundaries. How often do you say no? You can't say yes to everything without depleting yourself. Be strategic with what you say yes to. Think about if you're trying to be the best at all things. Perfection is not attainable. So meet the expectation, exceed where you're able to exceed, but don't shoot for perfection because you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Have you allowed yourself to let go of things that you don't have to hold on to? And this basically ties itself into delegation. When you build the trust in someone else, you're able to then let some things go. Delegate to someone who can do the task as well as you can, or 75 to 80% as well as you can, so that you can release some of the things off of your plate and focus on those things that rank a higher priority. Number two, refuel yourself. Think to yourself, have I done anything today that brings me joy? It's important that you fill your bucket so that then you can fill the buckets of other people. What brings you joy? Have you taken a few minutes out of your day to engage in that activity? Have you taken a moment to just breathe? Deep breathing or breathing exercises take a very small portion of your day, but they're so impactful on bringing in fresh oxygen into your lungs and helping to clear some mind space, helping to clear some space in your head so you can think strategically and think clearly to tackle those other tasks. Number three, get outside. It is amazing what fresh air can do for the psyche. Step outside of your home office or of your work office, just inhale fresh air, to take a moment to refocus and recenter yourself, to take a moment to appreciate what's in the environment around you. Practice kindness. When you're practicing kindness with someone else, you're giving a piece of yourself to someone else. That's such an empathetic step that you can do as a leader that conveys, I care for you. I care about you. I want you to be a healthy person. I want you to be strong. Share a little bit of that kindness with someone else. It is a reciprocal effect. When you share kindness with others, often what you get in return is so much more than what you're putting out. Did you show appreciation, gratitude, support for someone else today? It's like sharing kindness. You're giving a piece of yourself to say thank you, I appreciate you, and that does come back to you. So that then enhances your own self-wellness. And also, be kind to yourself. We're so hard on ourselves. I didn't meet that deadline. I didn't do the best that I could do. I didn't show up the way that I wanted to show up. How about being a little bit kind to yourself? You're giving kindness away. You're giving gratitude and appreciation away to other people. How about showing a little bit of that kindness and gratitude and appreciation for yourself? Be thankful and kind. Give yourself some leeway to make a mistake. We all make mistakes, so I'm not always sure why we're so hard on ourselves. Here's another one. Be aware of your mindset. How do you speak to yourself? Does your inner voice criticize you or affirm you? When you're self-aware, you're aware of that negative self-talk, right? When it starts, give yourself a pat on the back and stop engaging in negative self-talk. It's extremely critical that you practice this skill because that negative voice creeps in so easily and so sneakily that sometimes you don't even know it's there. Think about if you're dwelling on the positive or the negatives of the day. Yes, you may have had some hurdles to climb, you may have had some challenges that you had to overcome, but there were also some positive aspects of the day. For every negative that you experience, I can assure you there's a positive that's coming around from that. Remember, there's opportunity in challenge. There's opportunity in failure. So for every negative challenge that creeps into your mind, think about the positive outcome of that as well. Number 6 is to reflect. Did you think about and did you take time to think about and reflect on your day? When you do that, it helps you to level set a little bit. It helps you to put a realistic lens on how the day actually went. Sometimes our self-talk and our mind tells us that things were so much worse than they actually were. But when you take the time to remove yourself from the day and to reflect on what actually happened piece by piece, you understand the dynamic of what happened. You can see all of the pieces in place. It's not nearly as bad or as challenging or as negative as you might have felt when you were in the moment. So take time every day to reflect on what worked really well, on areas that you can improve on, and how you can continue to take care of yourself. And number 7 is to celebrate. Think for a moment about when was the last time that you really allowed yourself to celebrate your accomplishments or your achievements. And I don't mean in a big award ceremony. I don't mean in a big kind of show of appreciation. I mean you appreciating yourself. We talked before about intrinsic and extrinsic rewards, and this is an intrinsic reward. You identifying for yourself what you did really well and celebrate yourself. You know, if you were looking to have that scoop of ice cream or you were looking to just kind of celebrate yourself with some show of acknowledgement, with some show of appreciation, take the time to do that. Now, this isn't going to be a daily event, but maybe once a week. Celebrate something that you did really well. Acknowledge that for yourself. It does wonders for your mental health. So today we talked about how you're going to start practicing self-care regularly. Practice self-care. You notice I said practice because it doesn't come easily for ourselves as leaders. We're always taking care of other people, depleting our own buckets, but you can't fill anyone else's bucket unless your bucket is full. Thank you so much for joining me today on Effective Leadership Strategies in the Workplace. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and let your friends know all about it. See you next time.